our fighters faced each other to secure their places in the finals.
Let's go.
Starting first with the Bantamweight division. Christian Dexter had a significant victory over Eric Sanchez. Power advantage, of course, went to Dexter. Jordan Barker stunned with an epic performance and a spinning back fist that almost sent Eric Kuhn to sleep.
That could be in a knockout.
Securing his spot as well. Next up, let's check out the welterweight division.
About to get naked, bro.
Having failed the first weigh-ins, Alejandro Brugal cut an extra 5 pounds and came out victorious over the Bear Slayer Skrivers top student Arthur's Carnivals. Andrew Diaz unleashed some serious axe kicks and took the win against Michael Clayco.
The hard right hand.
We've got a chin, for sure.
And finally, we have the well-stacked lightweight division. In the 3-round battle, Javier Arteaga triumphed over Franklin Rivas and he's now facing Chad Cannon one more time. Cannon won to an overwhelming manner against the barbaric Chance Wingo, the fighter who delivered KUMITE's first ever knockout. Hold on tight, the finals are coming in hot.
Welcome back to the pit, where today on the KUMITE, we wrap things up with 6 amateur fighters realizing their dream of joining the pro ranks in karate combat. But before we see who has the skills to win and get in, here's a look at the rules.
Karate Combat is here with the show KUMITE, and I'm here with our middleweight champion Ross Levine, and we are going to talk about the rules for KUMITE.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first of all, the round system is different. We got two 2-minute rounds. If it goes the last round to a split decision, or if it's a draw, it will go to a sudden death round. In striking, pretty much everything is the same, I would say, right?
But there's a couple things that you can't do, Bas.
Okay, this is important.
So we know that in the full rules, we can do just about everything, but in the amateur KUMITE rules, we cannot throw knees to the face. Body is fine. So we can still use those same rules that we apply, just nothing to the face. And of course, the highlight of karate combat is the pit wall.
Yep.
And it is free range. It is a standing target. That is still the same for the amateur rule set. However, you cannot throw kicks to the face. And that's about it for the rule set. But how are these guys going to look? I know the rules are going to be great. The fighters are going to fight great. How are these guys going to look?
They're going to look badass. I mean, Karate Kid, or what Cobra Kai, I should say, sleeveless. Whoa, and I just saw them standing there. It looks freaking awesome. They all will wear shin protection. That's the difference that we have. And then there's the ground and pound rule. What's the difference with the ground and pound rule in this?
So the pro rules, we have 5 seconds, but we want to see some great action. Actually, George St. Pierre has recommended this, and we're going to implement it here with the KUMITE, where it's only 3 seconds. So as soon as that takedown happens, they're going to get active real fast.
That's it. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Godspeed. I know.
Today we're celebrating karate with 3 finals in the KUMITE. Each winner of these battles will join Karate Combat's professional roster. We have Christian Dexter against Jordan Barker in the Bantamweight division. After that, we'll witness a battle between Andrew Diaz and Alejandro Brugal in the welterweight division. And finally, there is that lightweight rematch where Javier Arteaga takes on Chad Cannon. Now let's take a moment to meet these formidable warriors before we let the battles begin.
My name is Christian Dexter. I'm a lifelong martial artist and 4th degree black belt.
Christian Dexter has journeyed from Brooklyn to test his skills in the KUMITE.
Dexter, 135.5.
And what better proof of his readiness than his victorious clash against his opponent, Eric Sanchez.
Christian Dexter, he's been competing since 12 years old internationally.
I've never seen anybody setting up crosses with back fists. The power and the accuracy went to Dexter for me.
No grappling here though, Ross.
Stop. Hey.
I think the yellow card definitely set a sense of desperation in the opponent. Nothing negative about it, but yeah, if you know you're down on the scorecards, you know you got to come out big swinging.
The first round was dominated by Christian.
For me, Dexter had the better precision and the better power.
The karate combat contract would mean a whole lot to me, but it would definitely not be the end.
Christian Dexter, you move on in the tournament.
Congratulations.
This victory has secured his spot in the final round.
When I get that contract, I'm definitely going to the top.
My name is Jordan Barker, and I'm from Poway, California.
Grew up doing this. You know, I may be new to karate combat, but this type of fighting is not new to me.
Started karate before he was born. His parents brought him home from the hospital in a gi, Ross.
He's got to perform, right?
He's gonna lose
take
the
his
gi.
gi away.
My experience in the pit was it's very unique. It's different.
Neither guy has landed super clean through round one.
Spinning back fist. Best shot of the fight so far.
The spinning back fist was one of my mom's favorite moves, so you can thank her for that one.
Yeah, Jordan's doing a good job of neutralizing any opportunity. You can see the power advantage.
Parker adjusted better.
You know, needed that first round to figure out what was happening in the pit. Like, it's different.
That's what you want to see from these amateur fighters. Take the first round, listen to your coaches, go out and make the adjustment.
Came out, you know, as if I lost that first round. And I was like, I gotta get to work and I gotta pick it up.
Stop. Those strikes coming out like fastballs.
He also had a really good control here when he put him up against the wall, and he kept him there. That's a master skill to have as well.
I think it's safe to say that he dominated that second round.
You don't get too many opportunities like this, and I don't want it to go to waste.
Jordan Barker, you go to the next round.
Definitely, obviously want to improve, you know, do better next time, and just not be afraid to hold back. And that way there is no, does he win or does he lose?
The Bantamweight Finals come to a head in the KUMITE between Jordan Barker and Christian Dexter.
I'm going to win it just because everything in my life has been lining up to this moment, and everything just kind of leading me to this path, and I feel like it's all happened for a reason.
I'm fast, I'm quick. I feel like my counters are strong and on point. I feel like they're just not ready for the power that I have in my legs.
Fighting out of the blue corner, it's the power puncher himself, Christian Dexter, who smashed his way to the finals. He takes on, out of the red corner, the tactician, Jordan Barker, who's trained before he was born, Ross.
All right, gentlemen, enter the pit.
It made a difference in the first fight. Let's see if it happens in the second fight here.
Veteran referee Chris Amnioki gets us going in our Bantamweight Finals.
Are you ready? This is the final. Fight!
Big clash of styles here, Ben. I mean, we saw Christian Dexter in his first fight just press forward and smash, as he said he would do, and work that big power.
Gotta be above the knee.
One of these gentlemen will leave the karate combat pit with a contract. The other one will have their hopes shattered. Jordan Barker with big side kick to the chest.
And again, we see this open stance.
Big
That's what we like to see, you know, left kicks.
The difference maker for Christian Dexter was the extended combinations, the creativity, and the striking. He's going to have to use all of that here against Jordan Barker. Oh, big spinning.
Good spinning back fist. Way to use the angle in the pit wall, right? It looked like he was just trying to get away, and as he was moving, just caught him with that spinning back fist. Nice little bait there.
Jumping front kick right there by Barker. He's certainly unloading all of the tools and tricks. Christian Dexter, though, expressionless. There is no indication of how he's feeling in there, Ross.
You called him a juggernaut in his first fight. I'm going to call him the Iceman in the second one.
Jordan Barker eating some shots right here from Dexter. Dexter corralling the tactician in the side of the pit.
You know, we're going to see if that Brooklyn toughness comes through in this fight. He might need it, I think.
Outside of competition, Christian Dexter is an artist, printmaking and painting. He's certainly trying to make a masterpiece here in the finals.
Yeah, having a hard time getting through this front leg and rear leg of Jordan Baker. Oh, another spinning back fist there.
That definitely got the attention of Christian Dexter. But you just can't deter him. He's coming forward. He's a zombie.
He's actually accidentally walking into these spinning back fists left and right. It looks like there might have been another one coming there.
He's making it dirty. He's making it gritty. And he's finding that range with that left hand.
Big time. He's starting to find the calf kick too. And with someone who's got long legs, lanky legs that are going to come from funky angles, you got to attack the lower body. Nice body kick from Barker there.
Excellent first round between Christian Dexter and Jordan Barker to kick off our Bantamweight Finals. Ross Levine, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing Mr. Barker here really utilize all of his tricks, and not only his tricks with his legs, but I mean, we saw two of these awesome spinning back fists. One was off movement, another one was off a kick. I mean, that's yeah, look at that, just finding that little hole for those tricky techniques. I mean, listen, if you're off balance, you got to make it happen.
That's got fight-ending power written all over it. We take it to the jury to find out their thoughts on this opening final round between Christian Dexter and Jordan Barker.
I don't think I've ever seen so many spinning back fists from any.
But it was almost like Matrix-like. He was tucking the hooks. He was doing the double kicks I really like as well. He throws a kick in and the opponent wants to come in. He keeps him away with the side kick with the same leg. Cool stuff there. And I'm talking about Jordan Barker. I think Dexter needs to put it together now in this second round. Otherwise he will lose.
Are you ready? Fight! Referee Chris Semyoki gets us going for round number 2. Jordan Barker said to us that he didn't think that he would ever compete again, but here he is with the opportunity to compete full-time. Good kick out of the head of Christian Dexter, Ross.
He's competing at a high level right now. I mean, he looks really, really good. These guys are both super refined. I'd love to see Dexter start to just, instead of just pressuring, right, he's got to pressure and start moving his hands, moving his legs, or he's going to walk into high kicks like that.
Excellent kicks by Barker. Really getting creative with it, but the power of Christian Dexter is always going to be the equalizer.
Yeah, but you know, you just got to be a little more active. It's, you know, the one shot is not going to do justice in the judge's hands when he's getting picked apart from the outside. We talk about it all the time, effective aggression, not just stalking.
Great front kicks right there by Barker. He is determining the range and pace of this second round, Ross.
100%. You know, it's a rare combination that you see. A lot of times these rangy fighters, they don't know how to get on their bike and don't know when to get on the bike, and Jordan's doing it all the right way. Closing the gap. He's initiating the clinch when he needs to. He's mastering the control of the range, and that's how you win fights in karate combat.
If you're Christian Dexter, how do you get back into this fight?
You better start throwing. You know, if you're going to get neutralized in the space, you got to throw. You can't stay in mid-range and just accept these kicks and punches flying from Jordan Barker.
There goes Barker teeing off with a crisp combination. The boxing, the kicks, everything is clicking in for the tactician out of the red corner.
Oh, spinning back fist drops him.
Dexter goes down momentarily, but pops right back up.
Stop. Right there.
Guy's made of stone here.
Everything was clean, but not the back of the
Christian Dexter.
Fight.
We don't know how damaged he is. Can Barker find a stoppage in the final 10 seconds?
Unbelievable timing again off of a kick here.
Good work by Dexter. Offensive right at the end, but that second round was all Jordan Barker in my opinion.
Wow. What an exciting fight there. I mean, my goodness, he looked good in his first fight. He looked better in his second fight. I got Jordan Barker. I mean, I think that's a 2-0 right there. No need to see a third round for me. What do you think, Ben?
That last spinning back fist, in my opinion, was the cherry on top. Gotta think that this one's gonna go to Jordan Barker in the finals.
I would think so, you know, but we got judges that make those decisions for us. We just get to enjoy the fights.
Let's take it to the jury and find out their thoughts on this Bantamweight final matchup between Christian Dexter and Jordan Barker.
Well, I think that Jordan here had the way more output. I think Dexter, you should start countering kicks. Is the only way to get into a guy like that, because if you wait, he's got another kick coming. It's kind of, so you got to blitz immediately.
I'm used to fighting inside a ring, so when you corner a guy, it's nowhere for them to go. But here, you know, I backed him up a lot, and then he could use the pit wall to escape, which was definitely to my disadvantage, I think.
I mean, we saw everything. We saw a cross, and I really like this technique myself, throwing a cross first and then make him think it's not a cross, make it a high kick, and all these mixtures he was doing. I really like also making a high kick and pulling it back, and then when the opponent comes in with the same, like pushing him away. Stuff like that we really love. And also the striking was good, the back fist, of course, that dropped him.
This fight was extremely aggressive, just non-stop forward pressure. I knew I was gonna have to be on my feet moving. I knew my cardio was gonna be pushed.
I walked forward a lot more this fight. I definitely wasn't countering as much. That was kind of my game plan, to pressure him forward, try and get on the inside. But man, his speed and his length just kept me on the outside the entire time, and I couldn't get a shot off.
Adam, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Christian, you went forward great. The pressure you put on made him work, but then you didn't really react. And Jordan, you just did everything you had to do, in my opinion, in this fight. You figured him out. The spinning back fist, I just said, like in the league, in the pro league, no one ever tagged somebody with that so many times.
The spinning back fist, though, definitely rocked me a little bit. Thankfully, I was able to clinch up and survive to the end of the round.
I heard a loud noise and he was on top of me, so I assumed that was really good. And then I tried to, kind of reverse the roles, put him against the pit wall, and hopefully land a couple shots.
And last but not least, Samuel, your thoughts?
Yeah, that spinning back fist is impressive. It's so quick, and it's also like, it's so easy to kind of hit with your forearm. But from where I was sitting, it looked like you were hitting it with the legal area every time, which I would say is very impressive because you spin around and you do it that quickly.
When I throw it, the hand is faster than my eyes, so I don't see it until it actually connects.
And also your high kicks are very dangerous. So if you get a contract, in karate combat, you don't have shin guards. So those kicks will also be dangerous, even if you block them.
I wanted to throw a lot of high kicks, try to bring those arms down and just head kick city.
I don't think any of the high kicks actually stunned me. I felt them, but I had my glove around my head.
And now the judges' scorecards will be delivered to our league president, and whoever wins will get a contract and be in the Bantamweight division of Karate Combat. So let's take a look at those scorecards.
Jordan Barker, welcome to Karate Combat.
Congratulations, Jordan Barker, the spinning back fist king.
Parents opened a karate school in 1984. Now Jordan Barker is in Karate Combat. He joins Alex Wendling in the pit for a post-fight interview.
Jordan Barker, man, you got it done. I'm sure this is what you came here to do. So how proud of yourself are you?
I'm very proud, but it's, it takes a village. So I'm not here without my family, my friends, my teammates for, putting me in situations like I was just in today, giving me the strength to overcome any adversity. So it's not me, I'm proud of everyone. I'm just really thankful right now, so.
And tell us about the preparation. I mean, in practice, were you constantly landing, spinning back fists? Is that just something that's ingrained into your arsenal?
No, we're actually not allowed to throw spinning stuff in sparring. But I got that from my mom. I've seen her drop a lot of people with that spinning back knuckle. And it's in my DNA. So thanks, Mom.
Your mom is amazing. That is some skill that she brought on to you. I love it. Jordan, congratulations and welcome to Karate Combat.
We were her practice dummies, me and my siblings, so I know how it feels.
Well done by Mama Bear. Thank you so much, Jordan.
The deli shop will have to wait for now. Karate Combat is in the near, present, and future for Jordan Barker.
Congratulations to Jordan Barker for winning the Bantamweight tournament. He surely is in the professional roster now. Let's continue with the welterweight final between Andrew Diaz and Alejandro Brugal.
My name is Alejandro Brugal, and I'm gonna be your next Karate Combat star.
Alejandro Brugal's KUMITE journey was anything but easy.
When I first came to weigh in, I was about 1 pound over.
His initial weight cut didn't go as planned, leaving him only 1 hour to shed 5 pounds to stay in the competition.
As a Marine, we like to adapt, improvise, and overcome. Nothing's gonna stop me. Cutting 4 pounds, 5 pounds, an hour, 40 minutes is not gonna stop me.
About to get naked, bro.
Round number 1 of our welterweight tournament gets going with Edgars Skrivers and Alejandro Brugal. Alejandro Brugal really impressed me through those 2 rounds, Ross.
Whoever takes this contest will only have 1 fight till a Karate Combat contract.
Brugal threw the more combinations.
Definitely could have done better, applied a little more pressure, but getting the contract would mean everything.
Alejandro Brugal, you go to the next round.
Despite this challenging start, he emerged triumphant in the pit against Edgars Skrivers, earning his place in the finals. Can he muster his remaining strength and triumph once more to start his journey of becoming the greatest warrior that ever lived?
I feel very comfortable. I bring a big challenge to anybody that's in front of me.
It's Andrew Diaz representing Miami, Florida. He takes on the prodigy himself, Michael Sugar Bomb Claycom.
Excited, confident, and nervous at the same time. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel ready.
Diaz made an impactful debut, impressing the jury with his perfectly timed combinations.
What a fight from Andrew Diaz. Really showed a bit of everything there.
Certainly a compliment, everything that they said.
You put it well together, mixing it up.
Diaz was throwing more hand combinations and strikes.
Diaz now coming forward.
You have some really powerful punches.
I capitalized on certain moments and I won the exchanges.
Andrew Diaz, you're going to the next round.
Being only one step away from winning the tournament, can he deal with the pressure and show what he's capable of against Alejandro Brugal?
It wasn't my best performance. I know I could have done more, but I knew I was countering well, getting my head off the center line, so I was happy with the exchanges.
Can he walk away with the Karate Combat contract?
Our welterweight final places two power punchers against each other in Alejandro Brugal and Andrew Diaz.
My reason of going to win the KUMITE was because I'm just better than the rest of the guys. Now I'm just a little angry because I had to cut out that weight.
I've trained my whole life for this. I've dedicated many, many years to training in martial arts.
Fighting out the blue corner, Andrew Diaz, representing Miami, Florida, brings a sport karate background into this pivotal final against the individual out of the red corner, Alejandro Brugal. One of the most powerful guys we've seen today, Ross. This is going to be a close contest.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this matchup. This is one that I've been waiting for throughout this series. You know, we've got the power punching and wrestling from Brugal in the red. We've got the flashier techniques, but also the hard, front leg, the side kicks, the round kicks, the hook kicks from Diaz. Let's see how it plays out.
Andrew Diaz got past Michael Sugar Bomb Claycom in the semifinals, and Brugal beat the Latvian Predator Arteaga Skrivers in his semifinal matchup. Great performances by both.
Absolutely. I like the front hand staying nice and long for Brugal. You know, it's a good distraction, kind of slow down the pressure. Helps him be a little more elusive there. Both fighters taking their time.
I think Brugal understands the car crash that could occur in the pocket with the power of Diaz. He doesn't want to take any unnecessary strikes.
Yeah, and that's something that can really shut down the wrestling is that front lead leg side kick. And then an axe kick goes right behind it.
Beautiful
way to close the guard.
Some ground and pound onto the side. Up kick's not there. Big shot to the face, Ross.
Yeah, good ground and pound there, but again, does that overdo and overshadow that awesome axe kick from Diaz? You got to be careful though. You throw those high flashy kicks, and we've seen it a couple times already in the KUMITE. You throw that flashy kick, you get caught up there, you get taken down and punished for it.
Not surprised that Andrew Diaz opts for the flashy strikes. Almost an illegal strike right there.
Yeah.
Could have been bad, Ross.
Great job by the ref stepping in, getting that stop before something was really dangerous, but we get up and we get back to work.
Andrew Diaz, inspired by Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme, the action stars of the old days, and you can see that in his style.
Big time, yeah, he's got the bounce, he's got the head movement, he's throwing the punches and the kicks.
But Brugal, I mean, as powerful as they could possibly come.
Yeah, you can even just see it in his body frame. His shoulders are almost twice the size, the width. He's just a wide human being, but I'd love to see him start to mix it up a little bit more. He's a little tentative, almost waiting too long to engage the grappling.
Final 10 seconds here between Diaz and Brugal. Round one comes to a close. Gotta think the most significant strike was that excellent axe kick by Diaz.
Absolutely. Even though, Brugal ended up on top of that exchange, we gotta think about damage. And that initial axe kick was just so impressive. He landed that. He started with the side kick, went up to the axe kick, and really did damage throughout that round.
We take it to the jury to get their thoughts on round number one between Andrew Diaz and Alejandro Brugal.
Well, you guys just said it the same thing, He did a beautiful axe kick, but he got taken down, and I gotta say, Brugal's ground and pound is actually pretty solid. That was a really nice. So who is it going to in that particular case? I don't know. It's a hard one.
I think the first round was good for warming up.
Yeah.
Now let's see the second round going in full throttle.
Yeah, but it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah, because we know they both have power. So if they just start to throw, it will be dangerous for both of them.
Yep. Well, that's
our welterweight final comes into the second round. Veteran referee Sam Amidi making sure both guys are good.
Round 2, gentlemen. You ready? You ready? Let's go.
If you're Diaz, what would be the adjustments you'd want him to make?
I mean, I just stay super long with the side kick. I would stay to the body and the leg. I wouldn't throw up high and risk the takedown. You know, and maybe he's listening.
Work the takedown.
Athleticism by Brugal to bring Diaz to the pit side. No ground and pound. Really good dexterity by Diaz in these maybe disadvantageous positions.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking at Brugal and I love the wrestling. He's powerful, he's explosive, he's doing good damage in ground and pound, but he's being reactive instead of proactive. You know, you can't take one to give one in the wrestling exchanges. I think if he sets it up with his hands and ducks under and can attack there, we'd see better scoring. But again, I'm not a judge. I'm just a fan, and I like seeing this stuff, and I want to see how it plays out.
Sam Amidi encouraging some action here. The puzzle of Andrew Diaz is giving Alejandro Brugal just a bit of pause. He doesn't seem to know how to enter or how to start these combinations.
And look at that. There we go. A big entrance to the grappling. That's what I like to see.
Time for a second.
Amidi calls time. Bit of a clash of heads potentially.
But be careful the way that you're coming in with that head. You clear? You good? You sure? Yeah? All right, watch your head for me, please. Timekeeper, come back in, let's go.
It's always exciting to see these young amateur fighters really making good progressions, and not just from round to round, but from exchange to exchange. That's something that you don't see even at the higher levels of pro fighters. You get these guys that are really good at one or two things, and that's it. These guys are making adjustments on the fly, and that's what the karate background does for you in full contact sports.
Work the takedown, work the takedown.
Those mid-game adjustments, some would say, take you from great to excellent. Beautiful work right here by Andrew Diaz.
Let's go, turn the face, turn the face.
Bit of a stalemate. Seems like both guys just don't really know what to do.
Yeah, you know, it's karate combat, not karate wrestling. I gotta see a little bit more from Brugal.
Bit of a
that was a good right hand, though.
Yep.
Punch.
Diaz momentarily stumbling on the pit side, but regains the center here. Stance switching from both. Beautiful leg kick right there by Brugal. Final 10 seconds, Ross. Somebody needs to make a stamp.
Yeah, it's happening right now. I think we're starting to see that physical presence of Brugal is really weighing on Diaz.
There could be a third round. Straight off for me, please.
Brugal and Diaz find themselves at the conclusion of round number 2. Again, a very technical puzzle that both guys are struggling to solve. Ross Levine, your thoughts through 2 rounds?
Super competitive. I see we're starting to see the physicality. I got it 1-1. You heard the referee say it. Hey guys, there might be a third round. I agree with the ref. That's why he's the best in the biz. What do you think?
Let's take it to the jury and see what they think.
One more round.
Yeah.
One more round.
Exactly.
One more round.
Uno more.
Round.
Encore une fois. I don't know what it means. There's something with gambling. There we go.
Yes, the judges have notified that our welterweight final will have a third and final round between Andrew Diaz and Alejandro Brugal. Ross, like we talked about, the size of Brugal is starting to wear on the smaller guy in Andrew Diaz. We'll see how he responds and if he can capture the karate combat contract.
Yeah, I think the dangerous thing right now is when you start to be susceptible to the wrestling, you start to become a shell of yourself and you don't start fighting. You know, I think the key for Diaz is, listen, if you're going to get taken down, you got to make him pay for it. Get active and land the good shots on the way to getting taken down. It's only 3 seconds. Get back up and do it again.
Oh, front kick right there from Brugal. Diaz, slow start to round number 3, but inching forward, slowly cornering the larger man.
I mean, we're talking about a third round to decide a karate combat contract. Gotta have some more activity here. A little clash of heads again for the second time there.
Sam Amidi brings Diaz back up. Diaz working out the jaw. Amidi giving it a moment again. That's why he's one of the best that we've got.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, right? It's when you enter straight with the wrestling, sometimes you lead with the head, but leading with the strikes is going to be the difference for the fighter here.
Diaz taking a moment. Alejandro Brugal, single mom growing up. Face those challenges. Here he is, representing his family well.
Hell of a fight. And big welterweights, too. I mean, these guys are big compared to the pro fighters in the welterweight division, too. I'm excited to see one of these guys get a contract and yeah, potential of that first fight, right?
If you're Andrew Diaz, you've dealt with some head clashing, some bad spots here. How do you mentally restructure?
You know what? There's only one focus. You can't focus on what happened and, oh, I got this and this happened to me. You only got about a minute left to make this happen. You got to go.
It's do or die for Andrew Diaz in round number 3 of our welterweight final. Alejandro Brugal just gradually pulling away with this one. A single contract is up for grabs between these two fighters. Ross, once again, trying to figure out the entries.
Yeah. This is not the time to be figuring anything out. You got to get active, and that's what it is. It's all about activity. Big slam from Arteaga. Brugal, excuse me.
Up. Let's go. Up. Turn around.
Sam Amidi trying to get the action going between these two athletes. Feels like the grappling will somewhat be the deciding factor here in this fight.
Yeah, if we don't see a little bit more activity here from Diaz, I think that is going to be the big difference maker.
Andrew Diaz had a lot of power punches in his first appearance. Really just keeping the foot off the gas here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why. Big shot, we got a hook kick.
Stop, you're on your knees. Up,
Andrew Diaz once again with a massively significant moment. Can he capitalize?
Back to the side kick. Does this give him a little bit of life?
Brugal seems like he's trying to blink some cobwebs out. Brings the smaller man to the pit side. Final 10 seconds in our welterweight tournament.
Up, let's go. Up.
Couple more seconds left. Does Andrew Diaz have one more trick in the bag?
Sam Amidi gets in between our two athletes just as the action was heating up. 3 rounds in the can. Ross Levine, your thoughts on this welterweight final?
Gosh, what a fight. I mean, the trickiness of that front leg with Andrew Diaz. You know, this was just a clash of styles. You put Andrew against anybody else who's going to sit and try and exchange, and they're going to be in trouble. He's tricky. I've got Brugal, though. He just came forward, he smashed that down, and he was able to establish the wrestling from round 1 all the way to round 3.
The grappling of Brugal, similarly my deciding factor. I would favor him, but again, let's take it to the jury and see what they thought in this welterweight final.
Game plan on that.
Yeah.
But I think with the kicks was better.
Yeah. Some head kicks too.
Yeah.
A couple clashes to the head that we had in there affected me a little bit. One of them really got me right on the jaw. One of them was up here. One got me clear on the jaw. The clash of heads definitely, I wouldn't say rocked me a little, but they definitely hurt. First one, it's a little shocking. The second one, I kind of expected it just because I felt like he was lowering his levels when I went for a takedown, which is probably what you should do to try to defend the takedown.
That wraps up our welterweight final. Now we go to our jury for their takes on that fight. Boss, you first.
I think there was a lot of respect between the both of you. You didn't really pull the trigger, so it, not too many strikes has been thrown, but there was some at the very end. You started working really well. You liked the ground and pound, and we saw that was the game plan from that moment on. Take him down and go for ground and pound. So it's a tough fight to judge.
His game plan was very clearly to win on takedowns. I don't think he hit me too much with the ground and pound, but he did get a lot of the takedown points.
My ground and pound was definitely one of the keys part of this fight.
Adam?
Yeah, I think you guys both have a lot of potential, but that's why you're amateurs, because you don't have that many fights yet. I think it was good. Same there, like you need to pull the trigger. You have to show us why you want to be the champion. But in general, for the whole tournament, great job, guys.
He was more of a karate guy. He had that nice timing and distance. His kicks were a lot better, and then his counter, his right hand, he was definitely looking for that. I don't think he hit me with that too much.
I didn't capitalize on many moments that I could have taken. A lot of opportunities missed.
And our star welterweight, what is your take on these welterweights in here?
Big guys, strong, powerful guys, yeah, I did a welterweight fight. I am a lightweight, but seeing these guys, I will probably never move up to welterweight again. But yeah, I agree with Bas and Adam, but I know myself that sometimes you get a little bit, shy for pulling the trigger. Yep. Maybe you got caught with something, you start to think too much. So I know these things can happen, but great fight from both of you.
And now we go to the judges' scorecards.
It was pretty even, and they needed to see more to make a decision.
I knew we were both some heavy hitters, and whether the fight was close or not, they definitely wanted to see a third fight, and I don't blame them.
I received the scorecards, and the contract goes to Alejandro Brugal.
Congratulations, Alejandro Brugal, with the welterweight karate combat contract.
It felt a little surreal, honestly. Yeah, I'm still trying to process it.
The American top team prospect and training partner of Maximo Nunes and Kai Calloway joins his fellow training partners inside the Karate Combat roster. Great performance. We take it to Alex Wendling for the post-fight interview.
Congratulations, my friend. After that first round, did you feel like you needed to pick up the pace in any way, or was there something about his game that you didn't want to risk too much?
I definitely felt like I needed to pick it up, but I was picking and choosing my shots, so I wouldn't get caught with his counters. Yeah.
And when we look at the welterweight division, we have some big names. We got Raymond Daniels in there, Shaheen Adamov, and now Samuel Erickson is not identifying as a welterweight. He just claims lightweight completely. So when you look at the names in the welterweight division, what are your thoughts?
They're beatable. They all have holes, and with enough preparation in the right camp, I can take them.
Well, congratulations on now receiving your Karate Combat contract. We can't wait to see what's next. Alejandro Brugal, welcome to the professionals. The lightweight rematch is our last fight on the card. After losing his first fight and then being saved by the judges, Javier Arteaga won his fight and locked himself into the finals. He will face Chad Cannon for a chance to win the Karate Combat contract.
One thing that I'm trying to do is just stay neutrally balanced in my mind and not let my emotions take over what the ultimate goal is.
In our journey through the KUMITE, we've witnessed the rise of Chad Cannon, a Texas karateka whose humility masks his fierce determination.
I'm a very adaptable fighter, and I can switch in between sport karate, Muay Thai, or mix them both together.
His debut fight left a lasting impression on the jury, solidifying their confidence in him.
I love the calf kicks and Chad the stroke. It's very smart.
When I'm watching them, I don't feel that they are amateurs.
I wanted to be real aggressive offensively.
Chad, you're going to the next round.
Welcome to our first lightweight semifinal match.
High risk, high reward by Chad, starting to throw some of those big flashy kicks.
Some of my higher kicks were getting caught.
Last big shot from Chad Cannon might have swayed the jury.
Each round, you're getting better and better.
The straight punches, the countering, the kicks was great.
Amazing work. You really mixed it up.
Whenever you move, you're in danger.
And that axe kick, really impressive.
Probably a little close because it did wrap around his head.
We will go with Chad. You are the first finalist of the KUMITE.
Dominating the semifinals against Chance Wingo, Chad's skills and unwavering spirit brought him to the finals.
How are you feeling going into this final round?
Actually, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I'm ready to go right now. Honestly, to tell you the truth, 2 10-minute rounds, that's cake.
Standing opposite him is Javier Arteaga, whom he has defeated before. With a seemingly effortless journey so far, the ultimate question remains. Can Chad take the very last step toward the coveted Karate Combat contract?
Getting that contract is my dream, but, you know, right now, I'm living my dream. It's already happening. So that contract's just going to be icing on the cake.
I'm Javier Arteaga, and I'm from Venezuela. Punch hard, hit hard, and don't let any scratches on my face.
Javier Arteaga's unwavering determination was evident from the outset. He tackled a tough challenge.
Chad Cannon versus Javier Arteaga.
Your punches, I felt you were the more schooled boxer. Really went for the evil intention punches.
I think I get more contact than him.
You couldn't feel the difference between the pro fight and an amateur fight. I was very impressed. Chad, you're going to the next round.
Despite experiencing defeat in his opening bout against Chad Cannon, after an epic 3-round battle, Arteaga's performance captured the attention of the jury.
In this division, from the losers, we will pick one who can come back and try it once more. You've got a good chance, Javier.
At the end, it's their decision, but I'm ready for the next round.
The jury is going to decide which fighter will be given another chance.
I would say Arteaga.
Arteaga, you are back in the tournament.
Gaining a shot at redemption, he pressed forward to the semifinals.
I'm adapting to Karate Combat right now.
Bas and Arteaga go the distance.
My opening was kind of short, so he was coming too much to my distance, and I take advantage of that.
Javier Arteaga, you're going to the final.
After another intense 3-round clash, Arteaga held the upper hand over Franklin Rivas, securing his spot in the finals.
You've definitely seen the most action in the pit here today. Many, many rounds. Are you at least having fun in there?
I love it. Okay, so let's go.
They met in the first round. Now they see each other again in the lightweight finals. Javier Arteaga and Chad Cannon.
I'm adapting to karate combat right now, and I think I can do a good show, and I can be one of the greatest.
I'm going to win the KUMITE because I believe that out of all the fighters, like, I'm the one that's destined to be here. I feel like it was just God's opportunity and God's timing for me to be here at this time to be able to perform and showcase my technique.
Fighting out of the blue corner, training since 7 years old, has been excellent in this tournament so far. It's Chad Cannon. He takes on, once again, the person he beat in the first round, Javier Arteaga, saved by the jury with the ultimate opportunity just out of arm's reach. Ross Levine, the rematch is upon us.
I'm excited. You know, it's always crazy when you see rematches that happen, you know, weeks and months in the making. This is, you know, really, really soon. So who's going to make the adjustments? You know, this is the key. This is what sport karate fighters do best, is they create these adjustments and they're able to make the changes. You know, we see the crazy flashiness. And the other thing too is, man, Arteaga's had an extra fight, not just an extra round, an extra fight. And we know he cut a lot of weight. Is that going to play a difference here?
And Franklin Rivas had a really good performance against Arteaga, gave Arteaga a ton of strikes up top. The durability of Javier could be the question in this final.
Absolutely.
Cannon, man. I mean, this guy's been spectacular so far.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm one of these things that, you know, you got to make sure you hit the body. And there he is, right? Kick that body, kind of drain whatever's left in that gas tank. That's what I would do. And wait for the second round for the flashy stuff.
Javier Arteaga trying to counter off that low kick. The early frames of round number one playing very similar to their first fight. Cannon leading the dance, but Arteaga making the adjustments.
Nice little foot sweep from Arteaga. Way to off balance him. He throws that power, just missed though.
The lightweight finals. There's nothing more after this. It's time to leave it all inside the pit. Cannon with a great connection.
Time. It was low. Over there.
A little bit of a low blow there.
A bit of a low blow. Maybe not the best connection.
No. You can do anything once.
That was accidental, just be careful with it.
I would love to see Chad switch that front kick over to a round kick, really stop that right hand counter. You know, by going to the leg, you still allow the opportunity for that counter puncher to land that heavy shot. But when you go to the body, it changes things up. You have to react, put your arms down a little bit. Yeah, the leg kick is going to be a great entry for Arteaga as well.
Arteaga making the investments in round number one. The top 10 WKF competitor talked to us a lot about sacrifice. He has made so many efforts to be here tonight. Doesn't want to go home without that contract.
Big swings from both fighters. Ended a little bit of a stalemate. Good attempt, a little late there. Remember, you only have a couple seconds in that clinch exchange to make it happen, so you got to move fast.
Chad Cannon, Javier Arteaga make their way to the end of round number one. Sort of a test of strength right at the end there with that grappling sequence. Ross Levine, your thoughts overall on the first round?
A very competitive round. I mean, you saw the flashy techniques coming from Chad as expected, and we saw the powerful exchanges, maybe even the better shots landed by Arteaga. Really tough round.
It seems like those leg kicks were the difference maker for Arteaga here in the finals. We take it to the jury and see what they made of this lightweight final first round between Javier Arteaga and Chad Cannon.
Well, we started the KUMITE with this fight, and now
we wrap it up.
We wrap it up with the same fight. It's not the same fight at all.
Nope.
They got the experience of the first two fights, and I'm really enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, I really, if I just point out, I really love red corner boxing. Yep. Just improving throughout this tournament. You know, the counter boxing, the combinations. Yeah.
Yep. Very beautiful.
Let's see what he can do now in round two.
Veteran referee Sam Amini gets us going.
You ready?
For this second round lightweight finals. Arteaga, Cannon, contract on the line. And like Samuel Erickson was mentioning, the boxing of Arteaga steadily improving. He's inching closer and closer to the chin of Chad Cannon.
Yeah, the key is how do you set it up, right? You can't just throw the dry boxing with someone who's as explosive, as fast, and reactive as Chad. Nice low kick there from Chad, mixing it up a little bit.
The state of movement that Chad Cannon is in is continuous. Never sitting down or resting, Ross.
And again, there you just saw it, right? Just leading, lunging in with those punches. It's not going to be enough to really make that connection with Chad. I think he's too on it. Nice little mix up there. First time we see Chad really engage the pit wall.
It's what you want to see out of a potential karate combatant.
Absolutely.
Stop a second. You've got to stop with that hand pointed out and the fingers out, okay? I'm fine with it here. Stop pointing it out. You're going to catch him in the eye. We're clear? Let's go.
Sam Amidi with the instruction on the appendages. We don't want any of that going on, Ross.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think, again, this is a great chance to see the adjustments being made, and we're seeing it play out perfectly here.
If you're going to do that.
Second round of this lightweight final. Arteaga needs to come alive a little bit, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, he may have taken that first round, but he's been very passive in the second round. I think he needs a little bit more action.
How do you stop that forward pressure of Chad Cannon if you're Javier Arteaga?
Well, you got to meet fire with fire, right? They say the best way to beat an offensive fighter is with offense, because generally their defense is usually not as good, right? So think fire with fire, but I would love to see Arteaga just set it up with a couple more kicks. I think he'd be that much more effective.
Keep going.
Chad Cannon sort of slapping away the lead hand of Arteaga, but Javier Arteaga grounds Chad Cannon.
You can't kick him when he's down. Don't do it. You clear? You good? Yeah?
10 seconds here to make a difference.
One guy can make one big moment here at the end of our second round, and our lightweight final comes to a close. 2 rounds in the can between Chad Cannon and Javier Arteaga. The rematch. Your thoughts so far, Ross Levine?
Gosh, really still hard to tell. You know, that was a very similar round to the first round, which we both agreed was tough to call. You know, you had the damaging strikes by Arteaga. I think Chad did a little bit more in that second round. Honestly, I gotta see a third.
Razor-thin margins here in this second round. It seems like Javier Arteaga has made the reads. This is much closer than their first round meeting, but it all depends. Let's take it over to the jury and find out what they thought of that second round.
Yeah, I would totally say a third round would be the correct choice here.
I really hope we have. I'll second that or third that if you wanted to call it like that.
Yeah.
So
we want a third round.
I was a little surprised, you know, that they kind of wanted to go third round, but it doesn't matter what fight organization that you fight in, where you're fighting at, you got to be prepared for the unexpected. I know it wasn't going to be easy. I came here to fight. If it took me 3 more fights to go, I was mentally prepared for that.
The jury would like a third round, but the judges seem to have a different school of thought. Ross Levine, we've got a decision.
This is where it gets tricky, man. They always say, don't leave it to the judges. Let's see what they say.
2 rounds of action in the can. We send it inside to Alex Wendling to find out the winner in our lightweight final.
And we are just moments away from finding out who's going to be taking home the lightweight karate combat contract. The jury wanted to see a third round, but the judges saw a decision. Now we head to the judges' scorecards.
I learned a lot in the first round. In the second one, I think I was thinking more and I was doing a better strategy.
First round, I kind of wanted to come out with more of a sport karate balance and stance, low to the body, high to the head. My opponent was a little fatigued from the first round. He still got power in that backhand, so I had to be very conscious of that as well.
The judges scored this fight in favor of Chad Cannon. Yeah! But the contract goes to both of you guys.
Congratulations to the both of you! Javier Arteaga's and Chad Cannon's both get a karate combat contract.
My first fight we tried was kind of hard. I mean, he's a good opponent, and my respect for him.
Going out there competing again, I think that we both had a mutual respect for each other's technique.
Once in the first round, rematched in the finals. Who knows? We could see the trilogy in the karate combat lightweight division. Both men enter the pit. Ross Levine, that's acrobatic as hell.
I would have loved to see a little bit more of this energy in the fight, if you ask me. If you got energy to throw backflips, you should have been throwing hands.
We may see a third fight between me and Javier. You know, that's one thing that we kind of were joking about at the end. Like, hey, I'm sure I'm going to see you again.
Adam, why this decision? Why do both of them get a contract?
Because throughout the tournament, they did amazing. They came here to fight. The first match you lost, but you came back, you made the final, and you not only made the final, but you know, this was very, very even. And Chad, you know, like whatever you did here was on point. Great fight. So this is exactly what Karate Combat is looking for.
And now you two kind of start this journey together, both getting contracts on the same day. Is it still going to be a rivalry, or are you guys going to see a friendship here?
You know. He's
like, pass on the friendship.
It's gonna be a rivalry, but we're friends. We fought in the ring. We're brothers. You know, when I step out here in the ring, it's nothing against that other guy. It's just me fighting myself to be the best.
Well, we got to get them a fight set up. So thank you guys so much, and congratulations to both of you.
Sacrifice paid off for both gentlemen, cutting 18 pounds in a week for Javier Arteaga, and the discipline of the lifelong practitioner, Chad Cannon. Welcome to Karate Combat, both gentlemen.
We created the Karate Combat platform and the pit so that fighters like you can jump in and shine and make a difference.
The overall experience for this KUMITE was everything that I expected it to be, and now I'm able to live that dream.
To Jordan Barker, Alejandro Brugal, Javier Arteaga, and Chad Cannon, welcome to Karate Combat and good luck at your professional career.
It feels incredible to win and getting that contract. Like, it just feels damn good, that's for sure.
The Karate Combat KUMITE has now produced 4 unbelievably exceptional athletes. Jordan Barker in the Bantamweight division. You had Alejandro Brugal in the Welterweights, and Chad Cannon and Javier Arteaga now in the lightweight roster.
It means a lot for me to be able to get this contract for Karate Combat. I just had a real good feeling that, this was my time.
When I heard my name, it was a little surreal. I'm still trying to process it right now.
It's a great opportunity when you see amateur fighters get that potential to move on and take a professional contract. You don't see that in other organizations. And honestly, watching these guys compete here today in the KUMITE, they're ready. It's all about making the adjustments and what are the next things? How do you get better? It's not about like what you just did today, although as great as it was, but how do we get better from here and just keep refining the skills and refine the tools and take it to the pro division.
Now it's just time, kind of like Ross Levine said, now what adjustments are these guys going to make from here to the next time that they step into the pit? So, that's something that when I go back home, I'm going to work with my team on and be even better coming back in next time you guys see me.
And then you saw Brugal, he's already got 2 other teammates from ATT.
I'd have to talk to my coaches and see when it'd be, when it makes sense to go ahead and come back and take on my first fight.
And then, of course, Mr. Barker here, crushing it. I know he said if he wasn't doing martial arts, he'd maybe have a deli, but it's gonna wait. Yeah, I think he's got a much better place right here in Karate Combat.
A year ago, I had no desire to fight. I gave that part up in my life, and thankfully for some people around me, good people, that made me feel like I'm worthy of this stuff.
I'm not the biggest welterweight out there. I think with enough preparation and the right sense of direction, I could possibly make 155 as well.
This is just a stepping stone. It's still a lot of work to go. Just like any great champions say, it's cool to win, but we hate to lose, and I didn't lose today, and I don't plan on losing moving forward either.
History has been made here today in the pit. Congratulations to all 4 of you. And again, we cannot wait to see the next steps of these Karate Combat athletes.
Congratulations on your contract. Amazing job. Welcome to Karate Combat. Great job.
Thanks for watching. I'm Layla, and if you liked what you just saw,